Hi everyone, my name is Janelle Knutson, and today I want to share with you one thing that has greatly impacted my family's homeschooling journey. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am a homeschooling mom to 7 children. This is my 14th year homeschooling. I've graduated my oldest from high school, but I still have 16 more years of homeschooling to go. Now, over the years, there has been one thing that really has had a huge impact in my homeschooling journey, and that is what I want to share with you today. That's an organization called CHEA. It stands for Christian Home Educators Association of California. Now, wait. I know that you're thinking, hey, I don't live in California, or maybe I live in California, but I just don't see how a homeschool organization really could have that big of an impact on your homeschooling journey. Hear me out, because I'm going to share with you 4 ways that CHEA really has made a huge impact in our homeschooling journey. And I'm excited to share that with you, and also to have a guest joining me today from CHEA that's going to talk with me a little bit more about CHEA and other state homeschool organizations. So let's go ahead, jump right in and meet my guest. Joining me today is Rebecca Kocsis, and she is from CHEA. So welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I love that you invited me. I'm so thrilled. It's an honor
to get to talk about CHEA. So will you tell us a little bit about yourself, about CHEA, and about what you do at CHEA?
Yeah, so I've been married to my lovely, beloved husband for 40 years. We have 5 grown children. Everybody's grown up. They all, we homeschooled them for more than 20 years. And they all graduated from our homeschool. And yes, they are breathing, functioning members
adults.
of adults and contributing members of our society. Yeah, so they're grown. Everybody's married, and we do have. We're coming up on 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
Actually, we have 9. Numbers 10 and 11 are on their way.
Okay.
So we're absolutely thrilled about that. And I do serve at CHEA. I have for more than 30 years in a variety of different capacities. First, just on as a materials handler. This was more than 30 years ago. And then we served on the convention team running the Youth Curriculum Exchange. We've served as regional advisory board members. And right now I serve on the board of directors. I'm the secretary.
Okay.
And I also am CHEA's newest general manager.
Okay.
So lots of hats over the years.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about CHEA. What is CHEA? And
well, CHEA stands for Christian Home Educators Association of California, and it is our statewide advocacy group.
Okay.
It was founded in 1982 at the dawn of the current homeschool movement. The founders believed that, if homeschooling was going to survive, we needed advocacy.
Yes.
We needed someone who would promote homeschooling to the community at large, that yes, this is legal, yes, this is good for families. Also provide support for families that are homeschooling. We provide resources through our website, our events. We have publications that CHEA helps families homeschool.
Okay.
And then we also have advocacy. We work to protect parents' rights to teach their children at home, free from government intrusion, and ultimately because we believe this is the way God has instructed us to disciple our children. And so it's all for the glory of God and for the furtherance of His kingdom.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people watching this video might not live in California. So are there other state homeschool organizations, or is CHEA just a unique thing in California, or are there others out there?
Just a bear of its own, right? No, absolutely. We are not unique. California is unique, but there are many, many state organizations. CHEA has counterparts in almost every other state in the union. And we are actually, many of us are part of something called an Alliance of Christian Home Education Leadership. And we get together every year, leaders from state organizations across the globe now. We have counterparts in Canada, as well as Mexico, and in Africa, and we gather together. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a part of, CHEA is a part of a greater global homeschool community.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Well, I will leave links to CHEA and everything that we're talking about down below. So if you're interested in finding a homeschool organization in your state. I will leave a link down below for you to find that. So now, I absolutely love CHEA, and I shared earlier in the introduction that CHEA has made a huge impact in my homeschooling journey. So we're going to take a little break from the interview here, and I'm going to jump in and share with you 4 ways that CHEA has impacted my homeschooling journey, and then hopefully Rebecca will come back and share with us a little bit more about CHEA and other state homeschool organizations.
Great. Love to.
Okay, I'm excited to share with you guys, as promised, the 4 ways that CHEA has really impacted my family's homeschooling journey. And you guys, I am not pulling your leg here. I'm not trying to be clever and think of some random reasons why CHEA, this organization, has been helpful. It truly has impacted my family's homeschooling journey. When we started off homeschooling, we were homeschooling for academics, and I will probably do a separate video to share with you exactly how we got started in homeschooling and how that all looked. But CHEA gave us a vision for homeschooling. God used CHEA and the CHEA convention that we went to that summer before we started homeschooling to really give us a bigger vision and picture of what homeschooling really was all about. Like I said, we were starting homeschooling for academics, really. We just wanted our daughter to be brilliant, and we thought that homeschooling was a great way to do that. But through attending the CHEA convention, God really opened our eyes to discipleship and what it meant to disciple our kids and the opportunities that homeschooling provided for us to be able to disciple our kids. And so I am so thankful for CHEA and the way that they have set that vision out before me and my family and have continued to support us and encourage us as we disciple our kids in this homeschooling journey. And you guys, if I had a different vision for homeschooling, or if I had no vision at all, I wouldn't be homeschooling 14 years into it. I would have given up a long time ago. But having that vision of discipleship for homeschooling that God gave to us through attending that CHEA convention that very first year has greatly impacted our homeschooling journey and the course that we have taken and the way that it's impacted our family and our children as well. So that is the first way that CHEA has impacted my homeschooling journey, is just by giving us a bigger vision for homeschooling, and that vision would be for discipleship. The second way that CHEA has impacted my family and our homeschooling journey is CHEA gave me not only the confidence, but it gave me the confidence by providing the information and the resources that I needed to homeschool in California. I had no idea about homeschooling. I didn't know what the homeschooling laws were. I didn't know anything about homeschooling in California, but I was able to go to CHEA's website to purchase some resources, to go to the convention, and to get the tools that I needed to know how to homeschool legally in California. If I did not have CHEA to go to, you guys, I probably would have just tried to do my best and piece things together and hope and pray that I was doing it legally and that I was doing everything okay and the right way. And I probably would have been questioning myself. I would have been probably in fear. But I knew, hey, this is an organization for the state of California for homeschooling, and I knew that they were giving me accurate information, and I knew that if I just followed those step-by-step guidelines that they put out there for me, that I was homeschooling legally and that I was okay, and I didn't have to worry about when somebody else said, well, don't you have to do this? Shouldn't you be doing this? I go, no. CHEA's given me the resources. They've let me know what I need to do. I'm following their steps, and it just gave me the confidence to homeschool and to homeschool successfully. So I'm so thankful that they have all the resources that they do that provided me with the information I needed to homeschool in California. The third way that CHEA has impacted my homeschooling journey is by giving me encouragement and practical tips. Oh, moms, don't we need this? Don't we need ongoing encouragement? Don't we need practical tips on just how to manage life as we're homeschooling our kids? And CHEA really did that. One of the ways they did that was through the CHEA convention, by going to the conventions at the end of the year when I was exhausted, I was burnt out, I was ready to give up, to go and to hear all these great speakers that encouraged me and just reminded me of that vision that I had for homeschooling, and just to cheer me on. It was just wonderful encouragement. In the early years of CHEA, they actually had a magazine that they sent out, and I remember just opening that magazine up and reading through it numerous times, just soaking in the encouragement and the practical tips that it had. Now CHEA has a blog, and they have an e-newsletter that offers encouragement and practical tips. So I'm so thankful for that as well. And finally, the fourth way that that CHEA has impacted my family's homeschooling journey is just that they are working hard to protect my right to homeschool in California. The very fact that I can homeschool my kids privately with very little, requirements and restrictions and laws that are being imposed on me, the very fact that I'm able to do that is thanks to the hard work of CHEA and other organizations that CHEA partners with that monitor laws and keep us here in California able to homeschool so freely. And so CHEA really works hard on our behalf. I don't think we would have the freedoms that we have here in California if God was not using CHEA and other homeschool organizations or other organizations that CHEA partners with to just keep homeschooling alive and healthy here in California. So I am so thankful for CHEA, and it really has had a huge impact on my family, from giving me a bigger vision for homeschooling, providing practical resources and help, giving me the tools that I need to homeschool here in California, and just protecting and keeping homeschooling alive here in California. So those are the 4 ways that CHEA has impacted my family. Now let's jump back into the interview and find out a little bit more about CHEA and other state homeschool organizations. All right, we're back, and I just shared with you 4 ways that CHEA has really impacted my family's homeschooling journey. So Rebecca, can you tell us a little bit about some of the benefits of supporting CHEA?
So yes, absolutely. Now CHEA is a membership-based organization. So you know, as well as being a 501c3. But if you become a CHEA member, there are tangible benefits. You receive free downloads from our events that we hold. You also get discounts on attending our events, as well as discounts on purchasing CHEA products. And those are resources that help you homeschool.
That's right.
And then you also have you're buying in to homeschool freedom in the state of California. I think of all the things that CHEA does when we talk to Homeschool Legal Defense Association, Mike Smith and Nathan Pierce from Family Protection Ministry. They'll tell you that the greatest benefit of supporting CHEA is that it does protect homeschool freedoms in California.
Right.
We have the membership base. CHEA creates the network or the infrastructure to mobilize the homeschool community when there's a need. And also, if our membership numbers are strong, when Family Protection Ministry, our legislative liaison, goes to Sacramento on behalf of homeschool freedom, they'll say, well, I'm here on behalf of homeschoolers in California, CHEA in particular, and they have a membership base this strong. This is how many citizens we represent.
That's right.
Likewise, we have a network of homeschool groups across the state of California. A lot of people don't really know that. So we can mobilize the leaders at a moment's notice in this day and age with texting and email. You know, if there's some kind of a legislative threat or anything that comes up that people need to know about, we're in contact with one another.
Right.
So we like to see the homeschool groups be connected with CHEA so that we can, it's a back and forth. We communicate with one another. We share information all the time, regularly on Facebook, how to lead your homeschool group. And then also with the homeschoolers in the state of California, we can communicate like that. We have a robust email list. We have good Facebook presence, and this is how we can, supporting CHEA in this way helps support homeschool freedom in California.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think one of the things that I shared in the 4 ways that CHEA has impacted my homeschooling journey was that it does protect my right to homeschool in California. And I know that that's what a lot of other state homeschool organizations do, is they work hard to protect and to keep homeschooling alive in those states. But I know that CHEA doesn't do that alone. You mentioned HSLDA and Family Protection Ministries. Can you tell us a little bit more about what those organizations are? just here in California? Is that something nationwide? Tell us a little bit more about how you work together with those two organizations.
Right. Well, and because we are three organizations that work together, that scripture comes to mind. A threefold cord is not easily broken. And we do communicate regularly. Homeschool Legal Defense Association, or HSLDA, is a national organization, and they do work federally on federal laws, but they also represent individual homeschool families in California. And so Family Protection Ministry is our legislative liaison that works in Sacramento to protect homeschool freedom. So when there's legislation that is introduced that has language that could be detrimental to parents' rights to teach their children at home, each of these organizations will step in. And so we work very closely with them to protect, as we said, homeschooling in California. I mean, AB 500 was just passed. And if you're on Family Protection Ministry or HSLDA or our email list, you saw that that was considered a legislative victory. And the three organizations consulted together to make sure that language was introduced that would protect homeschoolers from having to institute a code of conduct in their home if they established a private school in their home. So we all have codes of conduct in our home. So obviously that law, though very good for schools with a campus, really would not have applied and should not have trickled down applied to homeschooling. So that's how we work together. I think each organization is essential to homeschoolers in California. So absolutely
play their part. And work together.
Yes, very
and
much.
as you said, HSLDA is a nationwide organization. So if you don't live in California, you can still be a member of Homeschool Legal Defense Association, and they have their own amazing benefits and work tirelessly to promote homeschooling throughout the United States. And I think they even work outside the United States as well, don't they?
Right. I think there's a global arm of Homeschool Legal Defense Association now. And I think it's important that homeschoolers in California stay connected and stay involved. I mean, we are in a state where we have a lot of freedom because we fall under private school statutes in the education code. But that can change at the drop of a hat. And not every state has that liberty. And not every country has that liberty. And so I think we enjoy a great amount of liberty here. I think we need to be aware of what's happening in the rest of the world. And let's not take what we have for granted. We need to advocate. We need to be our own advocates. So
absolutely. It's easy, I think, for us as homeschool moms that might be watching this and homeschool dads to just get caught up in the day-to-day of homeschooling and the overwhelm of just trying to educate our kids and get meals on the table, that we forget that there was a price that has been paid for us to be able to homeschool, and that there still needs to be organizations and people working to protect our right to homeschool throughout the United States. And so CHEA, as well as other homeschool state organizations and HSLDA and Family Protection Ministries, are really vital to homeschooling. I think we forget that as homeschool moms. We're just thinking curriculum and getting meals on the table and things like that. But if we want to continue to homeschool, we are blessed to have the support of organizations like CHEA. So how can people find out more about CHEA, Family Protection Ministries, HSLDA, and how can we support these organizations?
Well, you can find links to these organizations on our website, www.cheaofca.org. Each organization depends on donations, as well as CHEA and HSLDA are membership-based organizations. So become a member. If you're not homeschooling anymore, still, if you're not homeschooling yet, become a member, because that $35 a year for your family membership is going to help promote and help keep homeschooling strong. And also donations. We all are nonprofit organizations, so donations will be tax deductible, and you'll receive a donation there. And I think prayer is essential. I shouldn't say I think. I know prayer is essential. I just think of In the past couple of years, and the people that have worked for CHEA and the people that are on the board of directors, we've had major surgeries, accidents, and literal all-out attacks. Of our 4 board members, we have all either just gone through a major life thing or are going through something, whether it's illness or through our family or through work. And so it's a battle. We're on the front lines. The enemy doesn't want organizations to assist families in discipling their children, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it boils down to, is seeing souls in heaven that wouldn't be there otherwise.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Prayers are essential.
Yeah. So as you guys are, after you watch this video, I just encourage you to be praying for CHEA and other state homeschool organizations, for HSLDA, and just the homeschool community at large, because you guys do a lot on our behalf that we really often forget about or aren't even aware of. So now there are some people watching that don't live in California. So how can they find out about maybe whether there's a homeschool organization in their state?
Okay, go to homeschoolfreedom.com, and there you will see a link to click on a map. And that map will show you the map of the United States and each of the organizations within those individual states. So, and that'll give you a link to those state organizations. So if you're in Oregon or Washington or Arizona or in Virginia, go to that map and it'll take you to links to that organization. And also, many of them have big conventions like we do every year. So you'll be able to find out about a convention where you can go and meet with other like-minded people that are teaching their children at home. It's such an encouragement to get together with other people that are like-minded, that you're working for a common cause, and people that have gone before you that can share from their experience and their expertise. So,
well, absolutely. That was one of the things I shared in the ways that CHEA has impacted me. Was God used CHEA to give me a vision for homeschooling, that it wasn't just, we were just homeschooling for academics. We just thought we would have brilliant children if we homeschool. And God...
I'm sure they're brilliant.
But we went to a CHEA convention before we even started homeschooling and got a bigger vision of what homeschooling is all about and about discipleship. So I know there's a CHEA convention coming up soon. You want to tell us a little bit about the CHEA convention and how people can find out more information about that?
Well, the convention this year is going to be at the Pasadena Convention Center, June 28th through 30th. We're going to kick that off with a leadership conference this year. Every year we kick it off with a leadership conference Thursday day, and then the event begins on Thursday night with a free new homeschoolers mini conference. So definitely plan on joining us. You can get more information. We're still in the early planning stages. So information is going to be released through our website as well as through our connection emails. You can subscribe to that from our website. So far we have 2 keynote speakers contracted. Zan Tyler from South Carolina, who has some, she is a warrior for homeschool freedom from South Carolina. She was instrumental in making homeschool legal there. And so she's got some good stories to tell about that.
That will be exciting to hear.
Yes. And then Easy Wayne from Living Waters Ministry. I don't know if you're familiar with Ray Comfort's ministry, but he and his wife Rachel, and she'll be speaking as well, homeschool their children. And so he's going to be talking about that big picture of homeschooling and the real purpose of education. So I think, and we have a lot more to talk about, but I can't tell you just yet.
So many exciting things coming. So make sure to check the CHEA website. I'll link that down below so that you can find out more about the convention. And as Rebecca said, they do have that free introduction to homeschooling. So if you are thinking about homeschooling and you're in the area, it would be great for you to come out, and that is free. And then, are you guys doing the preschool one as well, or no?
Yes. If you
talk about a little bit about that.
That's always exciting. If you are a family and your oldest child is preschool, At 5 years older or younger, and
Okay.
they haven't come to a CHEA convention yet, then you can come for one day for free.
Okay.
Yeah, one day for free. So,
Okay.
We'd love to have you. If you decide you loved it and you want to hear more information, you can always register and stay for the second day at half
Okay.
price.
Yeah,
and
that's a great deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have other great deal too for our CHEA members. We're doing 1 week of early bird members only pricing for $35. Your entire family.
Wow.
So that's you and all 7 of your kids. So that's 9 of you could attend the CHEA convention for $35.
That is huge. And so if you're in California, I encourage you to become a member of CHEA, because you not only get the benefit of a discount for the CHEA convention, but you get to know that you are supporting private home education in California. And that is good for all of us homeschool families. So, so Rebecca, I think we've covered everything here. So thank you for taking the time to share with us. But I know you've homeschooled a long time, and you've been in the homeschool community. So what wisdom, what encouragement, anything else that you'd like to share with the homeschool families watching that might be a blessing to them?
Oh gosh, there's so many things that looking back in retrospect that you want to say. But I think that I was kind of strolling down memory lane, and it's November now, and I remember our first year homeschooling, and by the time we got to November, and I knew the holidays were looming large on the horizon, and I was tired. And I thought, this is harder than I thought it was going to be, and is it really supposed to be like this?
And it's only November.
And it's November. Exactly. But the Lord just kind of reminded me, and over the years, this has been one of those benchmark verses, is Matthew 12:24. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. And because homeschooling is a big commitment of energy, time, and resources, and there's not much me time in there,
No.
So the Lord just kept reminding me of that. And over the years, I knew it had to be a work of God, because in my own flesh, I'm lazy and I'm wicked. And, but our eldest son graduated. And at his graduation, he had an opportunity to say a few words to his family and friends and guests at the church where we had that ceremony. And he said, I know that I would not be a Christian today if I were not homeschooled.
And that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. And it made it all worthwhile. And I knew that it was a work of God. I mean, it was so humbling, because you would want to say, oh, well, we homeschooled.
Yeah.
But I knew how badly I had blown it over the years. And I did not homeschool at all perfectly. I fumbled my way through. And it was just out of sheer white knuckle obedience. God just kept saying, just obey, just step out in faith. Yeah. And he kept his promises. He showed me that first year of scripture, of all your children will be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. And that day when he graduated, I thought, thank you, Lord, you keep your promises. Yeah. So all of that to just say, trust God, keep going. He doesn't expect you to be perfect.
No.
He just wants you to do it.
That's right.
Just be faithful.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for that wisdom and for sharing with us about CHEA and other state homeschool organizations and
it's my pleasure.
All that they're doing. So if you want to know more about CHEA, Family Protection Ministries, any of the organizations that we talked about, I will link all of those down below. If you are watching this on Facebook or other social media, you might have to click through to YouTube to see those links, but they will be there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was an encouragement and a blessing to you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye, you guys.